Elbow Grease Productions, in association with MichaelJacksonInsider.com, presents Hi, this is Pearl Jr. with MichaelJacksonInsider.com, bringing you Jackson Family Feud, the setups. Now, if most of you have been paying attention, we started getting little clues to what was going to happen with all the drama about Catherine being kidnapped, her gone missing, and all that stuff. Well, Peter Pan PYT had told me way back January of this year that Rebe and Stacy lived in Arizona, or they had a house in Arizona. And then when I heard that Catherine was in Arizona with Rebe and her daughter Stacy, I was like, wait a minute, I heard about that already. Also, there was a setup. Peter Pan PYT, who now goes by the name of Praying Hands MJ on Twitter, he had told me right a few days after he changed his name that he had a dream about Catherine and that Catherine was crying, and then Catherine comes up missing, and then we have the whole saga. And he also told me to pay attention to Paris. And who's also a main player in this? It is Paris Jackson herself. Also, we started hearing about T.J. Jackson ahead of him being awarded co-guardianship of Prince Paris and Blanket. Remember the news that Kim Kardashian lost her virginity to T.J. Jackson? That was awfully coincidental. Also, we have the clue of Michael Jackson's estate, who are the executors, are John Branca and John McClain, saying that they've earned $475 million for the estate. Not all of Michael Jackson. All of Michael Jackson has earned over $1 billion, but the money coming into the estate is $475 million. And there were reports that Michael was $500 million in debt. Then we have the letter from the Jacksons that said that they believe the will is fake, signed by 5 of the Jacksons: Tito, Jermaine, Rebe, Janet, and Randy. But what I loved about the letter, in the first paragraph, they said his real name, which is Michael Joe Jackson. And we know that all the death documents have him named Michael Joseph Jackson. And maybe that's why in the Dr. Murray verdict that they had alleged victim Michael Joseph Jackson, alleged date June 25th, 2009, to let us know that there's something coming with the Joe versus Joseph. I can't wait. I think when that makes big news, we death hoaxers need to celebrate. Also, we have Janet and Paris in a fight. But, of course, Janet didn't slap her niece Paris, and I don't believe for one moment that Paris would be so disrespectful to say, this ain't a Jackson family house, get the F out. I cannot believe a 14-year-old would talk to her 46-year-old auntie who loves her like that. There's just no way. And also Paris being disrespectful to her uncle, her 50-year-old uncle Randy, in public, saying that he's not right or he's a liar, then she deleted it. I just can't see how that's even possible, because none of the Jackson grandchildren have ever behaved in such a manner in public. None of them. And we know there's loads and loads of Jackson grandchildren. Now, with Janet and Paris, remember weeks before that happened that Janet was in the news saying she didn't want Paris to act? Another setup. Now, most of you know Cecil and I attended the Jackson Unity Tour, which was at the Greek Theater, July 22nd, 2012. And we heard Tito say something very strange. He said, yeah, I was busy having my 4th child. Now, anybody that knows anything about the Jacksons knows that Tito has 3 children, which is called Taj, Terrell, and TJ, which were named 3T when they went and launched their singing career. So 4th child, and I remember him saying that. I was like, why'd he say that? And now guess who's making the news? His love child, Tanae Jackson. She is out there saying TJ is a good person. And I've spoken with TJ back in 2005 after Michael was acquitted of all accounts. And he seemed like a nice, handsome young man. So I'm hoping that he does a good job as co-guardian. So therefore, there was another setup with Tanae Jackson as Tito's fourth child. And also, I just want to point this out, at the Jackson Unity Tour, after they sang Catherine's favorite song, which is Man of War, they said, "I want to see you again." Sorry for my singing, but they pointed to a picture of Michael, which was the Liberian girl picture, which was used at the memorial, which is July 7, 2009. And they said they want to see Michael again. So I thought that that was very telling at the end of Catherine's favorite song, Man of War. Also, in that letter that Randy has said was authentic, where the 5 Jackson siblings said that the will was fake, remember the signature page in which it was a standalone page? And anybody who knows anything about any kind of legal document, you never have a signature page as a standalone page because people can attach a signature page to any document. Well, we figured out why. Because Tito and Jermaine have withdrawn their names saying that the will is fake. Now, I do know, and I have figured out, and so have you believers, that the will is faked. But why is the will faked? There's a reason for it. And the date, July 7th, let's go back to 2002, is when Michael was really upset, and Michael put on his activism cap, and he was talking about the corruption, and he was talking about the mistreatment of artists in the entertainment business. And he was saying that the music business just steals from artists. They grow old and penniless, and the people who run the record companies remain rich. Remember, he was mad at Tommy Mottola? Well, some of the controversy surrounding John Branca was because Michael did an Enter 4 investigation back in 2002, 2003, and he discovered possible embezzlement in which John Branca and Tommy Mottola are accused of having an offshore account in which his royalties were being sent over, and that's why John Branca was fired in 2003. I have never seen a letter in which John McClane was fired, but Barry Siegel, who was also someone who was supposed to be an executor on the will, he resigned, and that letter is available. Now, I have to mention something about the will, a couple of things. The signature on the will, you can find it on a Wikipedia page, and I talk all about that in the Pseudocide, Did Michael Jackson Fake His Death to Save His Life book. And also it's on a And in the Mirror lyrics page, you can find that signature. Also, I thank Randy for highlighting on the will that it says the last will and testament of Michael Joseph Jackson. And we all know his real name is Michael Joe Jackson. I believe the reason why the will is signed the same day and that Michael was in New York and he was not in Los Angeles as the will states, and now it's coming out, is because Michael is still upset about the way he was treated in the music industry. And I remember in Jermaine's book, You Are Not Alone, that Jermaine said they had no idea when they were working to be successful that success would betray them in that way. And we all know that Michael is 50% owner of the second most valuable music publishing catalog in the world, which includes Elvis, the Beatles, Sly and the Family Stone, over 500,000 songs, in which they have just purchased the EMI catalog, which will rival it at being the biggest catalog in music history. So Michael said, you're going to take whose catalog? I'm going to take your catalog. Well, this is Pearl Jr. with MichaelJacksonInsider.com, and I will see you next time. Thousands believed Tupac did it. Millions believed Elvis did it. But did Michael Jackson really do it? E-movie book, Pseudocide, Did Michael Jackson Fake His Death to Save His Life? By author Pearl Jr. It's the most shocking true story of our lifetime. Order yours today. Go to MichaelJacksonPseudocide.com. That's MichaelJacksonPseudocide.com.